Hi, it's Andrea Foulkes. This video is going to be about entities, earthbound spirits, how they attach to you, okay? I was going out a few minutes ago. I still intend to go out after I've made this video. But I just watched someone who has a very big social media following on YouTube, and I was like, yes, but no. You're giving misinformation to the people, and you are actually saying you don't do spirit releasement. This isn't what you do. You don't know how to get rid of entities yourself, but you watch some videos, some other woman talking about it. It was so much good information, but then misinformation, because what's super important, and if you want to know my background, do your research on me. I've been doing emotional inner journey work, past life regression, inner child therapy, ancestral timeline healing, spirit releasement, reading the emotional Akashic records. I've been doing this work 16 years and over 22,000 hours. I had a TV show in the UK back from 2004 to 2007 doing past life regression, and I had to get really good at what I was doing. And why did I have to get really good at what I was doing? Because they were researching the past lives, and a lot of the time in the beginning when I was on this morning, they'd say, oh, the past life didn't add up. So by the time I went to do this other TV show, which was called Have I Been Here Before, I was doing spirit releasement, entity removal on every single celebrity. I was also doing inner child therapy, but we were not legally allowed to show those aspects. Although twice we showed spirit releasement, and the clip is on YouTube. Now, don't forget, this was back in 2004. It's not as good as I am now in 2017. And I'm not going to go into the intricate details of how to release entities in this video, because this video is really based at people who are doing this work and possibly doing it well-meaningly, but incorrectly. Okay, entities exist. Just accept that as an absolute truth. And most people have lots of entities attached to them. And most entities, when you're doing past life regression, will throw up their lifetime as if it's your lifetime. The reason you can tell the difference is if your emotions make your voice change and your personality change, that probably isn't your past life. It's an entity's past life. I've said this in another video on entities. However, I hear so many people saying, I shout at the entities to go, no, 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 do not shout at them. You can, if the client regresses enough into the background, you'll either have the client tell you the answers through their mind, or the entity will actually take over speaking through the client. And the client will rescind into the background, and you may even see their face change into the entity who's channeling through them. But you can find out how old they are, when they attached, what their story is. Did they attach in this lifetime, or did they attach in a past life and hang on the astral plane, and then when my client or the host of the entity reincarnated, they vibrationally attached to them? Because remember, the cohesion, and this is the key, the cohesion is emotion. You cannot do spirit releasement or release entities unless you take the person back to the day they attached. Whether that takes you back to this lifetime or past lives, you must go back to the day they attached. Not only must you go back to the day they attached, you have to heal either the past life, if they attached in a past life. You have to heal the entity's perspective of that past life, where they knew the host who they're attached to, because they did know them. And they either love them or hate them. It's two extremes. And you have to heal the host who you're regressing. You have to hear their perspective from the past life, and sometimes the entity's perspective, until it's neutral. Okay, if they attached in this lifetime, you must take the person back to the day the entity attached, which will in general perhaps be a wounded inner child or a wounded aspect from some day in this lifetime. And you have to heal the fragmented aspect of your client or the host in this lifetime. So you heal the inner child of the emotion that created the cohesion to them to come into their energy field. And don't presume that it's all because of negative emotion. You can be too much gratitude and have an entity attached through the emotion of you having too much gratitude to that soul for something. You know, if you knew them. You don't always know them. Sometimes you're just a cohesive frequency to the emotional state that that entity has, and they can get into your energy field. They'll tell you why they're attached. If the client has gone deep enough and they can drop down, the entity will speak through them, tell you why they're attached. Most of them sometimes don't know they've died. They don't know if they were in an accident or an illness. You can ask these questions. You can establish how they died. You must be, no matter what they've done. Even if this entity has killed people, you must be super kind and forgiving of the entity. You must explain to them that there is no wrathful, revengeful gods, because that's why most of them stay on the astral plane. They're terrified of retribution for their behavior of what they've done. And this is complete nonsense anymore, bringing in angels, because they're dubious in nature. Bring in the person's higher self, and if they have an expression of time in another star system, maybe bring in the higher self aspect from that star system, which might be a version of themselves in a future timeline, although it might look like it's completely separate. You must be very careful of who you're bringing them in to collect them, because you could just be taking them to be recycled into the fake reincarnation grids and the fake light. And that's where most people are taking people, with all this obsession with angels and deities and ascended masters. Just be a sovereign being. Call on your higher self. Your higher self, your sovereign being self, your authentic self. Nobody is more powerful than that. Why would you be giving your power away to angels to only find out a few years later, when you wake up a bit more or you're super sick and ill by then, that you've been giving your power away? Why would you do that? Why do you want to be less than who you truly are? You know? Wakey, wakey, wakey. I mean, this isn't rocket science, but the way people are going about it, it's like, I'm a healer, my voice vibration is really low and I'm a healer. And look at me, I'm sick and ill. I can't heal myself and I'm trying to heal people. This is the wounded healer in martyrdom. The wounded healer is, I'm sick and ill, I cannot heal myself, and yet I'm going to try and heal other people because I'm so programmed into martyrdom and suffering. This is what you see people doing, and these are people who are really good at social media. I'm not particularly very good at social media, and I don't churn out videos day after day after day because I'm too busy working on myself. I'm busy working on myself, and I'm busy working on the smallest amount of clients that I can offer daily or weekly without draining myself. You know, this is my priority. So don't work with anybody whose priority is not working on themselves. Do not work with anybody who's in martyrdom, suffering, or poverty consciousness, because these people cannot help you, okay? They're going to possibly do you more damage than actually help you. So you must be very, very, very discerning. You know, really, if these people are not making videos, establish if those photos on their website are really what they look like. Do they really look like that? Because you can see a picture of them 20, 30 years ago, and then you meet them in person, you're like, whoa, they look ill. Do not go to those kinds of people. Please do not go to those kinds of people. Please, please, please. This is the time of a lot of discernment. Most people need to kind of shut up shop of actually being a therapist or a healer until at such time they can heal themselves. And to that point, they should go and do something completely different. The world is abundant in nature. If you honor yourself, you will always find yourself in prosperity. And by prosperity, I mean enough money to do what you need to do. That's prosperity. Prosperity is the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. And, you know, sometimes I love Bashar, if you know who Bashar is, and he says the same thing. You know, he's a being light years in the future. Whether he comes from a star system I resonate with is another story. But I do love what he says, and I love how he says it. And, you know, this is the truth. You are eternally abundant. Don't skimp on emotional inner journey work and investing in you. There are people who are good at what they do, but they won't probably charge peanuts. You know, they'll value their worth. They have to live on this planet and they have to pay their bills. So they'll value their worth. They're not probably working 9 to 5 a day doing this work, because you really can't if you love yourself and you honor yourself. You can only offer a few hours a day or a week before it'll be too much. You have to work on yourself. You have to get your own vibration and keep your own vibration very high. If this sounds like I'm like, I am. I was like watching this video going, oh my God, it's so great this lady's talking about this subject. But then I was like, no, she's giving misinformation. No. So kind of before I went to the spa, I was so like, hey, I have to make a video and explain this. You know, please take on board what I said. I do have another video about egos and entities. And, you know, I could talk about this subject till the cows come home, because it's my passion. You know, that's why I'm like, yay, super excited, because it's my passion. You know, I've been dealing with this since the beginning of my awakening. It's the thing I'm the most excited about. Even when I was doing TV, they were like, wow, spirit releasement's even more interesting. Entities are more interesting than past lives. But ITC rules and regulations in the UK wouldn't let us show this stuff on UK TV. So there's tons of footage somewhere from celebrities having loads of entities attached to them and me releasing them. And you've got to make sure they no reattachment to, you know, if they're guided to the right place, those entities won't reattach. Over the years, I've got better and better and better at this, because I've been doing this 16 years and I love, you know, like doing this. And I love doing spirit. I just love spirit release, and I just love it so much. It's so fabulous. Anyway, I have spent 12-ish minutes talking about this with the joy and enthusiasm of the passion of what I love and know about. But right now, I need to go and love myself a bit more. And that means I need to go to the spa and go swimming outside under the stars. So much love from Avalon. Goodbye. Do subscribe. Watch my other videos. You know, download my meditations. Consider a session, or certainly consider coming to some workshops that I'm going to be doing in July in Avalon. And I do bob about to Sedona, and I do love Hawaii as well. And I may bob to other places as well. So much love for now, and do subscribe to my newsletter on my website, because you get 2 free daily meditations when you do that. So much love. Bye for now.